Say a little.
Oh, a little or a lot.
Where we are.
But little and large. Where we are? Oh, we're at Hope Gap, with Seaford Head that way, and Cookmere Haven that way. And we're in a little slot in the Downs, where we were hoping to look at the Seven Sisters. But if you can see behind me, we don't see very much at all, apart from a bit of sea, because we've got a lot of mist coming over from France. They do this to us all the time. Right, let's walk down and see.
So that's the start of the White Cliffs, and as you can see, the sea mist is quite heavy. Here are all the rock pools where I spent most of my childhood hunting for crab and shrimp and things like that. White chalk of the cliffs. So this is Hope Gap, and there's Ken on the stairs.
So we're stood just above Cookmere Haven, which is where the English Channel is out there in the mist. And the river up to Alfriston, the river Cookmere, starts here, and you can see some variations in the course. You can't see it from this angle. We'll have to look somewhere else and see if we can get a bit of clearance. I can see further out to sea now, so I think there's a chance that a little later today we might see some clear skies, so we can have a good picture of Cookmere Haven. But it's where Pardon may well have come down by skiff or boat and then picked up an ocean-going boat out at sea here, because Seaford, which is on the other side of this headland, was a port at that time, one of the sank ports. So we have to look and see how the weather does for the rest of today. So we're just coming into Alfriston, avoiding the traffic coming the other way. They're quite English roads. This is Alfriston is in there's the church, and coming into the village now, and it's so narrow it causes endless troubles. Luckily the cars are not mostly terribly big, so they can squeeze past. But of course we do get lorries, buses, tractors, etc. And we'll see if we can go on. And we're coming through with there are two inns here, one on the right and another just about to appear on the left hand side. The Star on the left, the George on the right. They date back to Pardon's time and before, and this is the marketplace, as was Market Cross. We go left.
I think I'm okay. I'm going to try and eat this between my fingers.
So this is the
Glass of cold tea.
So, would you mind changing that?
Oh, thank you. With my serious
And
This is the heart of Badger's tea.
Yes, the heart of Badger's. Yeah, Badger's heart. So you're going to be known all over America.
Okay, so love and scandal are the best sweeteners for tea. Henry Philip.
I'll go for the scandal.
So here we are,
Or the cake.
the cake.
cake.
And hopefully
And all the scones.
All the scones,
look at
yes.
that. So when you guys come over, this is the place to come
Yes, definitely.
and get your tea, cake, scones.
And any other favours that you ask Lynn will be
We'll
satisfied.
provide all that we can.
Here we are with a typically English, southern English sky, sunshine, wall to wall. In the back door, in the back garden of Badger's, we're about to have lunch. Badger's being the building which you've heard a lot about. And the building to the left here, you see there's a separation in the roof line, was built at a different time. And that was built as a workshop, working premises, and when John moved in, he took that over apparently and used it as his working premises for his business then, and extended later over to Bishopstone, and we'll just have a little look perhaps about how he might have managed the two businesses. But we better stop because we're going to eat lunch.
So we're in the toilet. There you can see me reflected in the glass. If you just want to read this, and then I'll show you the relevant bit of architecture that goes with it. And underneath the wash basin, hidden away in the dark, you can't really see it unfortunately. But
And Flint Cottage, which you can see appearing now, the full frame, is the first part of John Tillinghast's residence. And then as we pan left, you can start to see Badger's, and the entire roof line of this building shows the building as he had it. Flint Cottage was a workshop, and that's where he conducted his business, we believe. And at the far end here, and I'll point to it, is where the premises stopped and it was open property. It was open land because it was the marketplace. So the property finishes here, and the wall would have been a wall onto the marketplace, and those properties there didn't exist. Those properties didn't exist at John's time and at Parton's time. I think we walk round into the marketplace now and have a quick look at what's left of the marketplace. So none of these buildings that are on the right hand side of the picture were here at the time of John, until we reach this little entrance, which goes through to where the smithy used to be.
right.
The mid 1600s. These buildings didn't exist. This was all the marketplace, and the market cross is still here. is rope walk, and it was the original course of a stream in John's time, and it came down and was in evidence on the other side of the road. We've got people walking in front of us, down River Lane, so called because River Lane was the path of a river, streamlet river.
That went all the way down to the
down to the River Cuckmere. Yeah, rope walk was so called because there was a rope making plant higher up, but not where it's shown directly. On the left there you can see the George Inn that was in evidence here in the 1600s, so John Carden would have known that and used it, no doubt. And the star around on the right, very unusual to have two inns in a small market town as this was. It's very similar to what it would have been at the time. Witness the roof, there's some old pantiles up there, stone pantiles. There's a lovely shot of a girl with an ice cream that's decided to run. And
there's the church.
There's the church, and beyond it is the clergy house, and we'll go and have a quick look at that.
So what was that about the ridge?
There's a ridge here you can see as the church comes out towards us, then the grass drops away, and where that ground drops away, that defines the original retaining wall for the church, and it goes right round the church, so the church would have been sitting on a mound. So here we've got the closer view of the Alfriston clergy house. It's very important in English or British terms because it was the very first property that ever came into the ownership of the National Trust, and it was given to the National Trust for a princely sum of £5, which I suppose is about $7 by today's rates, is it? Something like that. It was the first property, and it's been looked after ever since, and it's in pretty good nick now, including the roof, which is worth...
A fine example of thatched cottage.
Yeah, and it's worth probably 5,000 times its original price, because it's a very fine thatching that's on here. So we're stood now on a track that's coming up out of the village of Alfriston, and it's where we believe he would have used on a regular basis to get over to his other business at Bishopstone, which is on the other side of the downs, on the other side of the hill from here. We'll just pop up the road and see if we can get any more pictures to show.
Now we imagine that this little raised area here, which is all overgrown, which Ken's walking down now, this is probably the road. It's all overgrown and disused now, that would have led over to John's other property. And probably walked this many a time. The thought of a good ale at the end of it. So this is probably the best view that you can get of what is known as the Cuckmere meanders, and for those of you who know your geography, you can really see how the Oxbow Lake is formed. So this then flows up and eventually goes to Alfriston. Up there. So Pardon wouldn't have necessarily seen this, it would have been flooded, is that the case?
It would have been dissected by many more little bits of rivers. It was just a flat area full of interconnected streamlets and whatever. As the tide came in it would flood, and then when it went out it would go muddy.
Sea marsh area really.
That's right, it is sea marsh. And in the in 1846 they made a cut, which is the large width river there, and that goes right up to Alfriston.
We're now looking directly back to the spot where we were just previously.
And that is Friston Forest. There's a forest right across the top of the downs, running almost down to Alfriston.
And if we move over this way a little bit, you can see the way the river and then the valley.
Alfriston is up the valley there, but we can't see it.
As promised, there is the Seven Sisters. You can see it now, beautifully lit in all glorious English summer sunshine. And if we just move over, you can just see the start of the River there going